Hello and welcome to another update video on Solana. Well, Solana is serious and Solana is currently following here the bullish case we talked about in the previous video. I think after the last update, after the last video, I also added here the orange scenario in case we get a break below the upper support area. You have another support area to watch. In this video, we can adjust these together. But overall, I don't think we need to talk about the larger time frame. I did that on Saturday really extensively. There was a long video about the bigger picture. The overall idea is we can still focus on higher prices, right? But I told you what the relevant levels are in case we break below here the previous lows from October. But overall, starting to look good. The idea was that we could be moving up here in this third wave, Roman numeral 3. The idea was wave 2 might have bottomed here on the 17th of October. A, B, C of wave 3. The C wave would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're likely now in the third wave of the C wave of the third wave. And this internal third wave itself is also again a 5-wave move. So it's kind of playing out in an impulsive structure, which is great. All we need to do at this point, whenever we're dealing with a third wave internally, is to adjust micro support levels. So the lower one is only going to become relevant should we break below upper support. Yeah. What we also don't need anymore, I think, are these trend lines. That was our first breakout signal. Second breakout signal was this green line. And then I said the next resistance is this area up here, but probably in this area where we have the swing high from the 13th of October. That's at around $211, $212. All the way up to that trend line. We need to get back above the trend line, which is now around $217. So those would be the next levels above to watch. What I said to you also was the most important resistance level or breakout point actually is this one here. Yeah. Is this one here. It's the swing high from the 10th of October, right? That's around $225. That's very, very important. Very important, because we need to get above it, because this is where the selling volume came in. I don't think it's an impossible task. Some coins are already breaking above. We saw today in our member live session a lot of coins that are starting to move towards this area. Yeah, it's always a different price level, of course, on each chart, but we saw a lot of coins moving towards this key breakout point, and so Solana has also started to move. Solana got the memo. Now the question is then how this move to the upside would likely unfold, right? Because as you can see, what we're tracking here is a wave 1 to the upside, yeah, then a wave 2 pullback, and an A, B, C. Now my concern is actually the way I have labeled this is only the shorter time frame. I think we need to revise what's happening here. So far it didn't matter, but now as the market is grinding higher, this third is a bit short. So it definitely needs to be higher. That's just based on proportions, right? So we have the larger time frame. Obviously, the larger time frame count we use to track the bigger picture. This is really just to track the microstructures. I haven't got this all tidied up there because it's not so important, because this is really just the 30-minute chart. But still, if this is grinding higher and forming a C wave, this is likely not going to be all of the third wave. It's likely that there's likely something in between, which I am tracking on the Ethereum chart as well. So it might very well be that this is only the A wave, of the third wave. You see, it's going to turn into a very complex structure here. But so far it's working. So it means this would be the A wave, then we can get a B wave later, right? And then a C wave up. But for now, the direct pathway higher remains intact. You have micro support now. This will need to be adjusted until we actually have a local top. And at some point it can be tested. Yeah, it's between $198 basically and $201.64, but it's going to go up with the price. So yeah, it's like a trailing stop, essentially. That should give you all the relevant levels. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, also make sure to follow us on X for additional updates. charts, and so on, yeah, you can find the link to our X channel in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.